So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you with a TRIAMID deck profile for you guys today. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. So this deck profile is a completely new rock arch type that's going to be coming out in Dark Illusions, and I cannot wait to showcase you guys this deck. And you know what, a couple months back, I actually did a deck showcase, or like a dual replay of the new TRIAMIDs in action, and you guys are loving the replay so much, and you guys always requested me to do a deck profile for this deck, but I was just waiting for the cards to come out in Dark Illusions to make this deck profile. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. And of course, as I progress to the deck profile, I'll be explaining to you guys some of my card choices and the reasons why I play them. So without further ado, let's get started with this new TRIAMID deck profile, guys. Start with the monsters. It's very, very basic. You want to go off, of course, with playing triple TRIAMID Sphinx, and I'll explain to you guys what this does. And my camera is not focusing for some reason. There you go. Look at that beautiful beauty. Look at that. Sphinx looks absolutely phenomenal. It kind of reminds you of the old school Sphinx, Talia, and those Sphinx that use what's it called, Pyramid of Light and things like that. So it's pretty cool. So TRIAMID Sphinx. So here, let me show you guys all the TRIAMID monsters. So you want to play triple TRIAMID Sphinx. This card is the main boss monster deck. If you guys don't know his effect reads that it cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with the effect of a TRIAMID card that cannot be special summoned by any other ways. If a face-up TRIAMID cards you control except for TRIAMID Sphinx is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control another TRIAMID card, this card gains 500 attack and defense for each field spell card with a different name in your graveyard. Also, monster board control cannot attack except to attack TRIAMID Sphinx. So basically, all your opponent's monsters, if they were trying to attack any other monsters, the monsters that are only forced to attack is TRIAMID Sphinx, which is pretty cool. If you have, of course, King Golem on the field, so TRIAMID, the field spell card King Golem, this card will become 3,000, and it depends on how many field spell cards you have in your graveyard. This card will also gain an additional 500 attack and defense for each field spell card with a different name in your graveyard, which is pretty cool. So this card is a big boss monster in itself. It can essentially go up to 4,500 attack, which is very amazing. So triple TRIAMID Sphinx is definitely the main boss monster, and the way that you actually want to get TRIAMID Sphinx out is through TRIAMID Spells. TRIAMID. And the way that you guys want to get out TRIAMID Sphinx is through TRIAMID Pulse, and also when a TRIAMID monster you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can basically special summon this card from your hand. And also King Golem can easily special summon this card when King Golem is sent to the graveyard, which is pretty cool. So TRIAMID Sphinx is absolutely amazing for that. So you want to play triple Sphinx, the main boss monster deck, and this card is a level 10, of course. In my personal opinion, the second best TRIAMID card in the deck aside from TRIAMID Sphinx, and this card is TRIAMID Sphinx right hand man. Definitely TRIAMID Hunter. This card is absolutely phenomenal. Very good. This card helps you spam Gorgonic Guardian, which is very phenomenal as well. So this card is really good. Gorgonic Guardian is one of the best cards in your extra deck. This card is like a Phoenix Chain. Really powerful. And TRIAMID Sphinx, if you guys, and I mean TRIAMID Hunter, if you guys don't know what his effect is, that if a field spell card is face up on the field, you can normal one rock type monster in addition to your normal summoner set, and you can only gain this effect once per turn. So you can go TRIAMID Hunter into another, let's say, TRIAMID Dancer. You can overlay into Gorgonic Guardian and things like that to basically nuke your opponent's monster to 0 attack, which is pretty good. So this card is really amazing. And all TRIAMID, like the smaller TRIAMID guys right here, they all have similar effects where once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target one TRIAMID field spell card on the field zone, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, activate one TRIAMID field spell from your deck with a different name. This card is a quick effect. So that's a really good thing about all of these small TRIAMID cards. Like you want to also play double TRIAMID Master and also double TRIAMID Dancers as well. So these are all the TRIAMID monsters that you play. So basically they all have the same secondary effect where during your opponent's turn you're able to send a field spell card in your field zone to the graveyard to basically replace it with a new field zone directly from the deck. So which is pretty good. So let's say that you have a cruiser King Golem. Okay, so let's say you have a King Golem on the field and you have a TRIAMID Sphinx in your hand. You can activate Hunter to send King Golem to the graveyard, activate Cruiser, and then King Golem will get to activate its effect since it was sent to the graveyard. Special summon a TRIAMID Sphinx from the hand, which is pretty cool at this point. I'm so sorry for the glare over there, guys. There's a huge glare, and that's my fault. There you go. That should be better. So anyways, TRIAMID Master has basically a primary effect. Once per turn, you can send one face-up TRIAMID card you control to the graveyard, then target one set card on the field, destroy it. And then, of course, the secondary effect is definitely the same. And TRIAMID Dancer has a primary effect of once per turn, you can target one TRIAMID card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, all rock monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. And TRIAMID Dancer is very good because she's able to recycle back your TRIAMID field spell cards, and also can recycle back your Hunter, your Master, and also your TRIAMID Sphinx as well. So Dancer is definitely very, very good in the deck. And the reason why you, in my personal opinion, you really, like your first turn, you must open up a field spell with one of these smaller guys. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a smaller guy right here, Hunter, Master, or a Dancer. You're able to progress with your combo plays, and I'll showcase you guys on some of the combos that you guys can do later. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for our TRIAMID engine. Next off to our other engine, you want to play the YGOPro engine. I am playing the YGOPro engine in this deck, and I feel like the YGOPro engine is very, very powerful. So you want to play the one YGOPro Guardian. This card is very good. It basically stops monster effects, which is very, very phenomenal. So YGOPro Guardian, this card is a 1900 beater as well, which is pretty, pretty powerful. And next, you also want to play the best YGOPro in the deck, triple YGOPro Overload. This card is very, very powerful. And if you guys open up, let's say TRIAMID Hunter, a field spell, and a YGOPro Overload, that's already a good hand in my personal opinion. So YGOPro Overload is basically a solemn warning for this deck, so this card is really good. And the amount of times you can abuse YGOPro Overload with Call of the Haunted is very, very powerful. You can easily search out this card with the cards like Block Dragon, or you can also search it out with Diamond Core YGOPro, which is pretty good. So definitely I like playing the YGOPro engine in this deck because it basically increases the ceiling of this deck, and being able to just negate summons and also negate monster effect is very, very powerful. And also helping you go into your rank 4 XYZ plays is very important as well. So definitely YGOPro Overload is definitely very, very powerful in the deck, and same goes for YGOPro Guardian. So that's pretty much it for the YGOPro engine. So you want to play the TRIAMID with the YGOPro engine, and to support these engines, you guys want to play Double Block Golem. This card is absolutely phenomenal. Being able to get access into your rank 3 or rank 4 XYZ plays is really, really good. This card is able to tutor out your YGOPro Overload, which is very amazing because this card is a solemn warning. This card can also tutor out your TRIAMID Hunter, Dancer, Master, and if you have YGOPro Overload, YGOPro Guardian, you can basically bring those cards out, overlay for XYZ, go into lightning and things like that, and basically push for game or things like that. So this card is very, very good since it's able to help you make quick rank 4 or rank 3 XYZs, which is pretty good. So Block Golem is definitely a must-have in this deck. And next you want to play 1 Sentry Soldier of Stone. This card is really good. It helps you get access into rank 3 XYZs as well, especially with Gorgonic Guardian. Card is amazing, and I feel like 1 is definitely more than enough in this deck because you can only activate its effect once per turn anyways. At least you also want to play the 1 Block Dragon. This card is the last monster in the deck, and this card is really good because you're able to special this card from your graveyard or hand by banishing 3 rock-type monsters from your hand and graveyard, and cannot be special by other ways. Rock-type monster you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock-type monsters from your deck to your hand whose total level is equals to level 8. So this card can easily add your double YGOPro Overload, or this card can add a YGOPro Overload and a TRIAMID Master and things like that, which is pretty cool if this card were to die. So this card is amazing, and huge shout out goes to the guy at 401. There's this guy that hooked me up with this card. I'm so sorry that I forgot your name, but if you're watching this video, you know who you are. A big shout outs to you for giving me your Block Dragon. So that's pretty much it for our monster lineup. Let's go out to our spells. For our spells, you want to play, of course, triple TRIAMID Cruiser. This card is one of the best cards in the deck. This TRIAMID card is your searcher of the deck, so this card is very powerful. And each time you normal summon a rock type monster, you gain 500 attack. You gain 500 life points. And if you normal summon a TRIAMID monster, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. If this face-up card in the field zone is sent from the to the graveyard, you can add 1 TRIAMID monster from your deck to your hand. You only use this effect of TRIAMID Cruiser once per turn. So during your opponent's turn, what you can easily do is that if you have okay, so let me show you guys the field spell first. So you'll play triple Cruiser. Next, you also want to play triple TRIAMID King Golem. This card is really good as well. If you guys don't know what TRIAMID King Golem does, King Golem is basically, so reads that all rock type monsters on the field gain 500 attack. If a TRIAMID monster you control battles, your opponent cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. If there's face-up cards on the field zone sent from the graveyard, you can special summon 1 TRIAMID monster from your hand. You only use the effect of TRIAMID King Golem once per turn. So you're gonna play triple King Golem, and next you're gonna play, of course, double TRIAMID Fortress. And if you guys don't know what its effect is, that hit effects reads that all rock monsters on the field gain 500 defense. TRIAMID monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card is sent from the field zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 TRIAMID monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. You can only use this effect of TRIAMID Fortress once per turn. Alright guys, so some combos that you can do with TRIAMID Cruisers and TRIAMID King Golem and TRIAMID Fortress is that, so let's say you open up with TRIAMID Cruiser, okay? So let's say this is your hand. So you open up TRIAMID Cruiser. Sorry guys, my camera is out of focus again, so there you go. So TRIAMID Cruiser, and let's say you open up with let's say you open up with a Master and a Hunter. okay? So what you can do at this point is that during your opponent's turn, so you already activate TRIAMID Cruiser, you normal summon Hunter, you normal summon Master. So you can do this when you can activate Hunter's effect, so basically send Cruiser to the grave, you know, to activate basically King Golem, okay? So once you activated King Golem, TRIAMID Cruiser is going to activate. You get to search up a TRIAMID Sphinx to your hand. So this is your hand. And now you can activate TRIAMID Master's effect to, you know, send this card to the graveyard to either activate another Cruiser or to activate a Fortress. It doesn't really matter what you can do. So let's say I'm going to go with TRIAMID Cruiser at this point. So you go into Cruiser, and now TRIAMID King Golem is going to activate in the graveyard since it was in the field zone. Now it's in the graveyard. Get to special summon a TRIAMID monster from your hand, so you special summon a TRIAMID Sphinx, and at this point this card will gain 500 attack for each different field spell cards in the graveyard. So your TRIAMID Sphinx will become 3500 attack, which is pretty powerful. And your opponent were to attack something and if your opponent were to enter the battle phase, the only thing that it can attack is TRIAMID Sphinx. So this card is very good. So that's a pretty some of the small combo that you can do with some of the field spells. So you know what, the field spells are definitely mandatory in this deck. I'm so sorry guys if I had to proxy the one TRIAMID Fortress and one TRIAMID King Golem. I really thought I had all of these cards after the sneak peek, but you know, it turns out that when I came home I was missing some cards. So I'm so sorry for that. So that's pretty much it for this field spell. Now off to our other cards. To play, of course, triple terraforming. You're basically playing, how many field spells you're playing? So you're playing 3, 6, 8, plus 3, so that's 11. So you're playing terraforming to get to your field spell faster. So basically what you want to do is you need to open up a field spell with a TRIAMID, a Master, Dancer, or a Hunter to basically progress into your play. So terraforming is definitely a must-off in this deck. Now let's go off to our other cards. You're going to play, of course, double Diamond Core Koi Camaro. Searches out your Koi Camaro Overload and also your Guardian. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard, and your Koi Camaro monsters cannot be destroyed this turn, so which is pretty amazing. So that way that if you don't have a rock type monster in your hand to reveal, you can just banish this card to prevent your Koi Camaro monsters from being destroyed. And you're always going to more than likely have a TRIAMID monster in your hand, such as TRIAMID Sphinx to reveal. So, you know, having these cards in the graveyard is very good for that, just in case if you don't have a TRIAMID monster in your hand. So, double Diamond Core, and last off, you definitely want to play one Regeki, one Soul Charge, and the double Twin Twister for our staples. Soul Charge, if you open up Soul Charge, I feel like you just win. This card is just very powerful, especially you can go into Dante, Mill, and then Soul Charge. Very good. Twin Twister is really good because you can easily push for tons of damage in this deck, and sometimes you're just worried about those drownings or those quaking. So Twin Twister, you know, gets rid of problematic back rolls, which is very good. And last but not least, you want to play the Regeki because board clearance is very important. So that's pretty much it for our spells. Let's go off to our traps real quick. You're gonna play, of course, one TRIAMID Pulse. This card is really good. If you guys know what TRIAMID Pulse is, TRIAMID Pulse basically has the effect where once per turn you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, any combination of rock type monsters or field spell cards, then activate one of these effects. Target one other phase up cards on the field, destroy it. Target one rock type monster in the graveyard, special summon in defense position, so that way that you can easily special summon TRIAMID Sphinx from the graveyard, which is very powerful. And then the third effect is that you can target up to 3 field spell cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So this card is like a prime as well, with 3 effects, so which is pretty amazing. So TRIAMID Pulse is very good, and being able to recycle your field spell cards to your deck is very good because you need your field spell cards to progress into your combo plays. So TRIAMID Pulse is definitely amazing in this deck, and I feel like one-off is the right number to play TRIAMID Pulse. Next, I'm going to play, of course, one Quaking, your only defensive cards in my personal opinion. One Quaking Mirror Force. You guys don't have to play this. You guys can play Bombus instead. It's all up to personal preference on what you guys want to play. But Quaking Mirror Force is very good. One Solemn Warning, and last but not least, Triple Call the Haunted. I felt like this card is very powerful. If you have your field spell and your TRIAMID monster were to be destroyed, you can easily call the Haunted back, and you know, call the Haunted back to Hunter, and you can do your basic combo plays with Hunter, sending this to the grave, bring out King Golem, and you know, call the Haunted back. You know, the Overload is very strong, so you Quake Mirror Overload once and negate a summon. You can call the Haunted again to bring back the Overload. If your opponent tries to summon anything again, you can easily just negate the summon, which is pretty powerful. And this card is able to help you open up into OTKs, which is very good. And you know, the amount of board presence that you're able to bring with Call the Haunted is very good. So Call the Haunted is very good in this deck, in my personal opinion. I felt like you need to play triple copies of this card, and be able to just bring back you know, your TRIAMID cards to basically extend your combo plays with your field spell is very good, especially during your opponent's turn. So definitely Call the Haunted is definitely a very great card in this deck. So that's pretty much it for our main deck. Let's go off to our extra deck real quick, guys. So for our extra deck, you guys want to play triple Gorgonic Guardian. I feel like you don't even have to play 3, but you know what? I don't have Break Sword, so you guys can take out 1 Gorgonic Guardian for the Break Sword instead. But, you know, a Gorgonic Guardian is very, very good. If you guys don't know what Gorgonic Guardian's effect is that it requires 2 level 3 Rock-type monsters. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card and target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It attacks become 0, and if it does, the effects are negated. These effects last until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster in the field with 0 attack and destroy it. So, you know, you basically make the monster 0 attack, then you activate its effect to destroy the 0 attack monster, which is pretty good. So this card is very, very amazing, and with King Golem, this card becomes 2100 attack, which is really, really good. Next up, you guys want to play, of course, 1 Levier. Also banish cards from TRIAMID Pulse, and you also banish cards from Block Dragon. So Levier can also be very, very live in this deck. So Levier is very, very good. Next, we want to play, of course, 1 Soul Silver Mountain. This card is a rock level 3 XYZ, which is pretty good. And, you know, being able to lock down back row is pretty amazing. So Soul Silver Mountain is definitely a good card in this deck. And next, I'm gonna play, of course, 1 Dante. Milling, you know, your overloads, milling your Hunter and things like that while you have Call the Haunted is very, very good. So Dante is really, really good. 1 number 106 Giant Hand. It's a rock. Really amazing. 1 Karakorgon, it becomes 2950 with King Golem on the board, which is pretty good. So if you guys want to play number 55 Google Goliath, and this card becomes 2900 with King Golem on the board, and be able to add back Koikimero Overload, Koikimero Guardian, what is called TRIAMID Master from your graveyard to your hand is very good. So this card is able to recycle back Masters, Overload, and Guardian, which is pretty amazing. And actually, you also want to play 1 Genlight Pearl. It's a rock type monster. 1 number 39 Utopia, 1 Utopia Lightning, 1 Castell, 1 Abyss Dweller, and last but not least, play 1, of course, Gustav Max, because you can easily make it with double TRIAMID Sphinx, and you can easily game your opponent with this card. It for my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile, make sure you guys slap the like button and see if you can get this video 100+ likes. And in my personal opinion, guys, I feel like this deck is very fun to play, and if for those of you who are looking for a fun deck to play on a local level, I would definitely recommend picking up this deck because 1, it's relatively really cheap, and the amount of combos that you can do with your TRIAMID smaller monsters with the field spell to bring out TRIAMID Sphinx, and being able to just summon Koikimero Overload and reuse it with Call the Haunted and things like that is very powerful. And the amount of rank 3 XYZ spam going to Gorgonic Guardian is very amazing as well. So if you guys want to play this deck on a local level, I would definitely pick it up, and it's super cheap as well. The only holo card that's in this archetype is, you know, only TRIAMID Sphinx, which is very cheap. So if you guys want to play this deck on a local level, I would recommend picking up. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. And this is Sam from Team Sam signing out, guys. Peace!